Hello, my name is Jared Ribble. I'm with NRCA, and today we are talking about ProCertification, specifically thermoplastic hands-on performance exams. I've got John Goodman standing by as he is getting ready to do some thermoplastic exams down in New Orleans. John, give us a tour of the mock-up you're using today, and what are you expecting from the candidates as they do their thermoplastic exam today?
Well, this is a single-ply, low-slope mock-up in which we conduct TPO, PVC, and EPDM hands-on exams. And as a qualified assessor, I'm going to be watching the candidate as they lay out membrane, creating a seam that comes across the mock-up, through the curb, intersecting with the soil stack. I'm going to see how they roll the membrane up the wall, how evenly they do it, how well they fasten it. I'm going to see how they flash the field sheet around the curb. Are they turning it upright? Are they cutting the corners correctly? I'm going to be looking at the inside and outside corners and how they are intersecting with the base wall flashing, how they do that according to the instructions. I'll be looking at fastener placement. I'll be looking at fastener tightness, the correctness of the driving the screws. I'll be looking at the quality of their hot air welds. After the test, I cut them open, I examine them. I'll look for anchoring around penetrations and curbs. And then I'll look for how they hang the flashing on the wall with the termination bar.
John, what happens if you ask the candidate to do something different than how they do it with their company every day? Or maybe the membrane they use, the manufacturer's instructions are different than what you're asking today.
Yeah, and we get that comment a lot. And we say, that's okay. That manufacturer is a good manufacturer and that detail is a good detail. But in this test, which represents all of the country, all of the manufacturers, for all the roofers, we have prescribed ways that we want to be able to see them accomplish correctly. Probably the most common item is right here at the inside corner. What you'll see is that we ask candidates to take the field sheet, roll it up the wall without cutting in the corner, and then taking the base flashing, rolling it down the wall, through the corner, out onto the roof without cutting. And some candidates will scratch their head. What do you mean I can't cut? We always cut it. Our manufacturer tells us to cut it and use an inside corner. And that is a really good detail. It's just not the detail that those who built this exam chose to test on. We usually test on the harder details, the harder skills, rather than some of the easier ones.
What do you suggest someone do to prepare for this thermoplastic exam?
Well, to prepare for the exam, there are two things that the candidate is going to face when they come and take the exam. First of all, it's the pressure by what you see around me. Multiple people taking tests, assessors watching, taking pictures, taking notes. Add to that the fact that we may add some details or ask them to do some things they're unfamiliar with. So my suggestion to candidates is, with your leadership back at your companies, get a mock-up that looks like this and do some timed events. Take 3 hours to try to roof a mock-up like that. Find the resources on NRCA's website that tells you what a practice exam might be. So you're used to reading the instructions, understanding some of the technical jargon that may be unfamiliar to you, and you practice it maybe within 90 days of actually standing for the exam. You start this preparation process, maybe on a rain day, or selected training times, not to necessarily build your skills, but to build your ability and your preparedness for the exam.
This exam sounds pretty tough. John, why do you think an installer would want to take the thermoplastic exam and earn their thermoplastic certification?
Well, why do racers race? They race to win. Why do roofers want to take this exam? to be able to prove to the rest of the roofing world that I am one of the best. I can stand shoulder to shoulder with any roofer from any side of the country, top to bottom, east to west. I'm as good as this industry has to offer.
Thanks, John. Great information. I cannot stress enough. Get yourself prepared if you want to take the thermoplastic exam. There is a link in the description of this video that you can download the readiness documents, a sample of the assignment. Get yourself prepared. Go prove that you are one of the best in the country.